Hi everybody, it's Linda. Here we go with our yoga section. So tonight, I want you to think about gratitude, being grateful, and opening up your heart. Mostly, I want you to think as you come down to your mat, find a comfortable seated position. And we're going to have the legs crossed. Sometimes it's nice to sit up on your block, or rolling your mat a little bit. Just elevating those hips sometimes just a little bit helps tremendously. So kind of rock on side to side. Feel yourself settling into the ground, settling into your sit bones. See if you can find a balance between both sit bones. Then roll your shoulders back and down. Soften through your eyes. Maybe put a small smile onto your lips and into your mouth and into your cheeks, and that transfers up to your forehead. Close your eyes. And think of something, anything to be grateful of. First thing that comes into mind. You could be grateful that you have this time to invest in yourself. You know, investing ourselves is probably one of the best investments we can make. One, it transfers to ourselves, but two, it transfers to everybody around us in our lives. Take a nice deep breath and fill up your lungs. Slowly exhale out through your lips. Take another big inhale all the way up. Exhale it out. One more time. And exhale. See if you can soften through your jaw. Soften your shoulders. Maybe want to wiggle them. Roll them back and down. Soften through your hips. Soften the knees. You're going to bring the arms forward, interlace your fingers. Bring your arms up to the sky. Rock over to the left, over to the right. Back to center. Bring the arms behind your back. Interlace your fingers behind there. Open up your chest. Let the arms fall away. Let the hands come back up to the sky. Rock over to one side. Rock over to the left. Rock back to center. Bring the arms back down behind your body. Interlace your fingers. Push the hands down towards the ground. Open up your chest. Take your gaze to look up towards the ceiling. Bring your gaze back to neutral. Let go of your fingers. Bring your arms all the way up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, and then as if you're making a nice big pot or a coffee press, exhale it down. Inhale up to your chest. And now push your palms towards me, round your back, round your spine. Inhale, bring your arms back up towards the sky. Let your fingers fall away. Interlace your fingers behind. Drop the hands down. Open up the chest. Let the hands fall away. Arms up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers. Make that pot of coffee with your coffee press. Inhale up to your chest. Exhale, push your hands and your palms towards me. Now hang out here for a second or two and maybe rock from side to side. Stretch one side of your back. Stretch one side of the other. Stretch your shoulders. And then as you're stretching, I want you to walk your palms up as if they're up against a wall. Bring them all the way up towards the sky. And let your arms fall down to the side. So let's bring our wrists forward and then make some rolls, so some circles with your wrists. So I have my palms, my fingers in my palms, but they're not tight. Roll the other way. Interlace those fingers, maybe make some figure eights. So roll your eights one way, roll your eights the other. Bring our left hand straight out, watch that shoulders nice and soft. Then grab your top of your fingers, middle of your fingers, and let's just flex the fingers towards our wrist. Be respectful here. Okay, bring the palm down and bring the fingers towards the top of the arm. We'll take that over to the other side. So shoulder soft. Those fingers back towards your body. And down towards your arm. And then just shake them out. Shake it, shake it, shake some more. And then we're going to come, if you're on a block, we're going to come off the block and we're going to come into the tabletop position. And now you're going to bring your wrists to the fingertips towards yourself, but make sure your body is stacked over top, your shoulders are stacked over top of those wrists. Fingers pointing towards your knees. And then just pull yourself back a little bit. You want to keep the full arm, a full hand down onto your mat. You want a nice wrist stretch here. You want to be respectful. So come forward and come back. Nice and respectful. Forward and back. Little rocks. You may or may not create more space. That's okay. The stretch in itself is wonderful. Do one more. Let's just hang out here for a couple of breaths. And I'm going to stand on those knees, give those wrists a little shake, and then do a few figure eights one way, a few figure eights the other. And we're going to come back down. We're going to go into puppy pose. So walk your knees back a little bit. You're going to bring your forearms down to the ground. Your chest is going to come down to the ground. The tailbone is going to stay long. So you're like a puppy with a tail. If you want to wag your tail, wag your glutes side to side. Now, if you have your block close by, you can bring your block between your arms and then block your forehead on top of your block. Drop your chest down towards the ground. Soften through your elbows. But keep that tailbone nice and tall. It's got a nice big tail. Enjoy a few breaths here. Now the top of your toes and the top of your feet are long. They're against the ground, so just give them a little flap. And then bring yourself back up to a tabletop position. And this time, let's curl the toes. So feel that all your toes are connected to the ground, connected to the earth. We're going to hang up and give those toes a little stretch while we thread our needle. So let's take our right hand up towards the sky. Take your chest and gaze over that way too. And then make your arm nice and long. As you extend your arm, you're going to bend it through the left. Come on down. Keep that tailbone up and towards the sky. Come down onto your shoulder, onto your cheek. Now take your opposite hand, so your left hand up, and bring the palm of your hand to rest on your lower back. Close your eyes. Sink into this lovely stretch. breathe. One more breath. We'll bring that top hand back down. Unthread our needle. Uncurl our toes. And let's go for a little flap again. And then curl the toes up. And we'll take that needle over to the other side. So left hand all the way up. Chest follows it, gaze follows it. Take your arm nice and long. Reach for extension first, then drag it underneath. See if you can get further, further, further away to come down onto your shoulder, onto your cheek. That right hand is going to come up to the sky. Bend it so that the elbow is at your lower back. And breathe. Couple of breaths here. One more. We'll bring that upper hand down. Walk ourselves up. And this time I want you to bring your toes together. Walk the knees far apart so that you can sink back into a wide-legged child's pose. So really drop your heels down into your glutes. Walk your hands forward, but forward enough that you can kind of feel a stretch into the upper back, but then sink the forehead down to the ground. And maybe bring the top of where your hairline meets your forehead, and that's where you want to press your head down into the ground there. So you create lots of space in your throat to breathe. Sink back into your glutes. Let everything get heavy here. Say to yourself, I am heavy, I am sinking, and no, you're not going to disappear. And slowly drag your nose up your back. Come back up into a tabletop position. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and let's take our gaze over to our left toes. See if you're kind of look like a cat looking at its tail. Can you look all the way back at your feet? Can you look back at your tail? Then go on to the other side. Nice and slow. Feel that connection in your obliques, in your side body, in your neck. Come back to center. You're going to spread your fingers wide, 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 and then curl your toes. And I want you to think about your tailbone going up towards the sky as you press your chest towards your thighs, into our first down dog. If you want to go for a pedal it out. Go slow enough that you're feeling the connection to your back of your legs. Many of us did a big leg workout this week, so maybe feel the connection to your calves and to your hamstrings while you're pressing your chest towards your side. All right, we're going to go into a three-legged dog. Take that leg straight up into the sky. Come up onto the toes of that right foot. Bend that knee, and you're going to bring the nose, your knee to your nose. Grab your back. Kick it back up nice and high. Bend that knee. Bring the nose to the knee. Center of your hands. Press that floor away. And one more. Squeeze it all the way up. Take it all the way up. Back to a three-legged dog. Drop that leg down to the ground. We'll take that over to the other side. So press your chest towards your thighs. Take your right leg straight up. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Bend that right knee. Pivot forward. Nose to the knee. And up. again. And lift, getting lots of light. Last one. And bring that foot back down to the ground. All right, let's hang out into our three-legged, into our down dog. So fingers are spread wide like starfish, pressing your chest towards your thighs. We're gonna do a revolved down dog. So take your left hand, reach for your right ankle, and look through your armpit and up towards your sky. And breathe, getting lots of light here. Come back to your down dog. Take it over to the other side. So reach, reach, reach. Take your gaze to look under that armpit. And reach up. Come back to your down dog. Press your chest towards your thighs. Drop down onto your knees. Uncurl your toes. This time drag your hands behind your body, palms up. They're aligned by your feet. Sink down into a child's pose. Nice deep breath. And drag your hands forward. Bring yourself back up. Curl the toes. Press yourself once again into a downward facing dog. Now we're going to walk to the front of our mat, but we're going to walk, don't go there yet. We're going to crisscross our ankles and our feet over top of each other while you're really exaggerating that tailbone up towards the sky. So crisscross, crisscross. Keep moving your hands. Give yourself that whole length of your mat. And then we'll hang out here into a forward fold. So bring your nose towards your knees. We had that back exercises, so I want to create lots of space into our back. If you like to grab opposite elbows and become a rag doll, rock side to side. Bring both hands back down to the mat. You're going to bring your hands either onto your shins or your calf or your thighs into a half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, bring your arms out to the side, swan dive. All the way up, reach the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. So spread your toes, find that balance, find that stability in this mountain pose, Tadasana, as we're standing here. Take a nice big inhale, bring your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your arms away into the hips, swan dive down. Inhale to a half lift or a flat back. Exhale and fold. Swan dive all the way back up. Join your fingers, join your thumbs, join your hands. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Take a nice deep breath here. I'll do one more half sun salutation. So arms out to the side, arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your arms and palms away. Exaggerate that forward fold. Inhale to a half lift or a flat back. Exhale and fold. Now you're going to step your, how am I doing this? Right foot back to the side. So you're going to come to the long edge of your mat. Perhaps not even facing me. You're going to curl your toes, You're going to point your toes somewhat into each other. Bring your hands down right, line just ahead of your hands. Drop your head ahead of your feet and drop your head down and round. Shake your head. And find some quietness, find some stability. And then slowly walk your hands forward as if you're going to do a downward facing dog. So fingers are spread wide, right? Arms and shoulders are rotated back. And then press your chest back down, and your hips, your chest back towards your body. So you're kind of in a wide-legged down dog. That should feel somewhat nice, but soften through those knees. Don't hyperextend, don't lock. Now take your right hand, grab your left ankle, and go into that rotation again. So looking under the right elbow. Right armpit, and breathe. Then bring the hand back to that long down dog. Press the chest back towards the thighs. And go the other side. So you may or may not reach your leg, but you just reach towards your leg, towards your ankle. Take your gaze underneath your armpit. Bring your hand back up. So go back to that down dog, press towards the chest. And then slowly walk your hands back in line with your body. We're going to bring the left hand underneath the nose. Right hand's going to pull a bow and arrow up towards the sky, and then we're going to revolve and twist. Take your gaze to look up. Slowly bring it down. Bring that hand underneath your nose. Opposite hand's going to pull your bow and arrow up and twist and revolve. And bring that hand back down. And then slowly just pivot towards the front of your mat once again. Press yourself back to a down dog or down onto your knees into a child's pose. Press yourself back. And sink down. Now we're going to come back up to table, and you're going to find your block because you're going to need it super close by. We are going to go back into one more down dog. So spread those fingers wide, roll the shoulders down, bring the elbow points towards me if you're facing me, or towards the front of your mat. Curl your toes. Think about that. I don't want you just to throw yourself into a down dog. I really want you to do it with intention. So I want you to think about that tailbone going up, up, up as you press your thigh, your chest towards your thighs. And then we're going to do that tippy toe, crisscross our way back up to our mat. Keep the tailbone nice and long. Lock your hands as well. Keep your head heavy. And then when you're there, you're going to hang out into a forward fold. Shake your head no. Swan dive all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. So you can stay at the top of your mat. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me a little clearer. I've got my mat, my block nice and handy. So you're standing here. Let's bring our arms all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Now walk your feet a little bit wider out. And we're going to slowly bring our arms out to the side. And you're going to sink down into a garland pose or right down into a yogi squat. Then bring that block down. You can sit on it. Wiggle those feet, wiggle the toes. Bring your hands into your heart center. And use those elbows to create some space in those inner thighs. So push with your triceps, your beautiful triceps that you just worked out. Push them against your thigh. Close your eyes and breathe. Nowhere to be, nothing to do but opening up through our hips. Now pick up those toes, give them a wiggle. They're out of our confinement of shoes and boots and flip-flops holding our toes in place. Give them a nice wiggle. And then settle them right there. breathe. Now you can stay exactly here for a couple of minutes, or you can try to follow me, and I'm going to walk us through crow pose because our triceps didn't get enough workout today. So, staying exactly where you are with your triceps engaged to your inner thighs, you're going to start to rock forward as you bring your hands down to the ground and lift your upper body up onto your triceps. Push that ground away and breathe. Now another way, if that's a little bit not accessible for you, is stand, get up, put your feet onto your block to start with. Then bring your hands underneath, play with it. Bring your triceps underneath, and then you're gonna come up, because you've already got some height here, and pushing it away to the ground. You may come back, you may rock and roll, you may face plant and roll. We've got enough lawyers here that I got myself covered. And bring it up. And breathe. And then drop it back down. Find that block to sit onto your, and if you tried it, feel good that you tried it. If you got up for a second, feel good. If you sat in garland pose, feel good. It does not matter where we were, it's our own journey. And we're feeling good. All right, let's take our legs nice and long. Now before you get too long, remove that block. Come on down. Find your sit bones. So do a little walk, a little yogi walk. Find those sit bones. Or bring your hands by your side. Lift yourself all the way back. Bring your arms up towards the ceiling. I don't want you to tuck your neck in, but I want you to keep a nice neutral neck, neutral chin, and hinge forward. Get a nice big stretch from that lower back. Might be feeling a little tense, a little tight, because again, we did a lot of back exercises earlier on. Drag your hands up. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat onto the ground. Then bring your hands underneath your thighs. Lift those toes up into the air. Bring the arms forward so they're in line with your shoulders. Breathe. If you like, straighten the legs. Bring the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe you're shaking, rattling, rolling. That's okay. Tuck back under. And slowly roll yourself all the way back. Bring your knees in your chest. Hug it here. So let everything soften. Get your spine nice and long. Find your handy dandy block because you're gonna need it. All right, we're gonna bring the block and hover it between our knees. So on the long side, so you got it nice and vertical. Squeeze it in. Bring your arms out to a T position. Sink those shoulders down in the ground. Flex your toes. Flex your ankle. Squeeze that block. Then just let those toes or feet soften. They're still connected to your body, but they don't have to do it. Take a nice big inhale. On your exhale, drop both knees over to the left. See if you can keep your shoulders anchored to the ground. Take your gaze to look over your right fingers and melt. Bring your gaze back up to neutral. Squeeze that block. Bring it back to center. So I want to make sure your hips are nice and aligned, your shoulders are nice and anchored. And move now, move your ankles. Make circles with your ankles. Do a few one way, do a few another. And then we'll squeeze that block. Take a nice big inhale. We're going to drop both knees to the right. Nice and slow, let gravity do everything. Take your gaze to look over your left fingertips. And soften and melt. And bring both knees back up to center. And we're going to remove the block. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Now you're going to kind of cup your kneecaps with your fingertips, just so you can use them as guides. And you're going to make two independent circles. So move the knees away from one another and start to make some circles. Opening up your hips a little bit more. And then go the other way. Do one more. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Lift the upper body up. Bring your forehead to your knees and your knees to your forehead. We'll drop the upper body down. Take your right leg nice and long. Bring that heel to the outside corner of your mat. Bring the left leg nice and long. Bring that heel to the outside corner of your mat. Bring both arms down by your side. Roll your shoulders. Soften your eyes. Soften your cheeks. Soften your jaw. Enjoy a couple of moments of stillness and quiet. I'll bring us back in a couple of minutes. Let everything transition. So get heavy. Let everything go. Let everything soften. Let everything melt. Slowly bring your awareness back. Make some small movements with your fingers and your toes. Maybe reach up overhead and give yourself a big stretch, maybe a yawn. Roll yourself over to one side. You can hang out there, you can hang out longer in Shavasana if you like. Slowly push yourself up to sitting. Now let's take a nice inhale all the way up. Join your fingers and join your thumbs and join your hands. Take a nice big exhale. Bring your hands down to your heart center. Think back to what you expressed gratitude for the ability to be together was mine. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.